I think I need to change how I pronounce this subreddit, right? For continuity's sake, because I say forking shorts, but then I say sheethy car mods. It needs to be shorty car mods, right? So welcome back to Shorty Car Mods, everybody. Let's start off with number 19, blasphemy. Why would you put a different vehicle's logo on your car when they're in the same class? I get it. People do the whole Chrysler 300 to a Rolls Royce thing of rebadging the car, but like Mustang and Charger kind of directly compete against each other in the same price segment. So why would you like rebadge your Mustang when you could have just gotten a Charger instead? It's kind of weird, unless you actually just, that's the name of your car, but it just coincides with another car that competes with it. I don't know, it's kind of a weird approach. If you just really like the name Charger, you probably should have gotten a Charger. Pepto-Bismobile. I think this is my favorite title of any post that I've ever seen on Reddit. Wow. Every time I see a pink car from now on, that's what I'm going to call it. Oh, thank you. If it's a limousine, though, that's already absurd, I feel like, you might as well do it in pink because it's already a Challenger limo. So why not? Yeah, you already chopped a Challenger in half and added a little bit extra. It's supposed to be as flashy as possible. People renting this for events and things like that. They want to stand out. They want to be able to stand up out of the sunroof and take photos and have photos taken of them and look as absurd as possible. So I say, go do your thing. It's better than chopping an F40 in half. Friend of a mechanic I used to work for owned this. Yes, that is a portrait of the truck in a high-speed police chase on the back. Is this based on true events? Like they went and got into a police chase so that then they could have a mural commemorating that painted on the back of the truck that was in the police chase. I feel like there are easier ways to accomplish putting a based on a true story sort of thing on your truck. I don't know, I will say it's probably easier to get yourself into a police chase than it is to, say, win a race in a professional setting. That's probably pretty difficult to do. I've never tried it myself, but yeah, you can pretty easily get yourself into a police chase, I suppose. Don't do that. Don't do, I hope that this isn't based on a true story. But also just imagine, maybe you're in a borderline situation where the cop tagged you. You're going a little over the speed limit, but they're like, you know what? It's fine. It was close enough. Probably someone's going to follow them going faster. I'll wait for that person. And then the cop turns as you go past and they see that image on the back of your car. And they say, you know what? I've changed my mind. I will pull you over now. Do you want that? Probably not. Upgraded from Cassette. Wait, what year is it? This looks like a CD-ROM drive module that you took out of a desktop computer and you like put in, and then you just put some sponge around the edges so it didn't vibrate all over the place. Kind of stays in. Occasionally, every now and again, you accelerate a little bit too fast, it just flies off into the back, but it's okay. Those things are robust. It was built in the 90s, so it was built to last. Not like today's flimsy glass cannon looking technology that looks pretty, but you drop it a couple inches and it gets exploded, okay? This is robust, and it's gonna be kicking in another 100 years. Probably far beyond the life of the vehicle itself. Jesus H. Christ. It must be... Did they do that on purpose? Like, what? I'm really disappointed that someone just walked right across the frame at the exact point of impact. So, God darn you. But otherwise, you saw that dip there, and you took that faster than I would take it in a car of mine, which has not great ground clearance, but a lot better than that one, and also doesn't have wheels cambered to hell that as soon as an impact happens, it's just gonna bend them out to the outside. There's no way you didn't see that. If you drive a car like that, you can't not be extra vigilant about any imperfection in the road, and that's a pretty big dip right there. How are you gonna go and do that? Must have been filming, because he's like, hey guys, want to see me wreck my car? Get the cameras rolling, I'm gonna do it. No, just no. It's a Camaro Dunk. It's a classic. This one stands out even more. Wow, I'm really impressed. They managed to actually match the wheels with the whole crazy orange and yellow sunburst chrome, and that's attention to detail, and that's commitment to the brand right there, dude. I've seen a lot of Camaro Dunks on this subreddit, and that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And see, when you have a car like that, you don't have to worry about being the last guy. You can just truck right on through those dips, and the only thing you have to worry about is shredding your body panels because you have no travel for your suspension before it runs into the body. So it's basically like a skateboard with really big, really hard wheels, but that's okay. It gets attention, blinds people as well when they stare too hard. It's safe to say this belongs here. It's when you appreciate the advances in modern technology, but really you just want to live back in the 1800s, this is for you. All right? Because you appreciate the fact that cars are pretty reliably waterproofed. You don't often hear about cars having leaks. So it's like, dude, what if it rains here a lot? What's the most secure way to have our thing not leak? Well, let's just use a car. But we don't want to use the car's like engine technology. That is very not Amish, okay? We're still Amish at heart. Even if we're going to use the waterproofing from a car, we're not using the tech from it, and then we can have the horses pull us along. It's the best of both worlds, and we're not violating our values and core principles. Finally spotted one in the wild. It would be on a Nissan Murano. Of all the Nissans you could have chosen to do things on, it really does look a bit like a transformer of sorts. I will say thank you for your service, and I don't know if the wings on either side of the badge here are something to do with the Air Force, in which case I don't want to say anything about that. But as far as like, I don't know why it looks a bit like a nose ring for some reason. It's reminding me of a nose ring. It's like, this is the car's nose here. It's just got, I'm not sure why. And then it's got, I don't know, diamond teeth with the grill here, and definitely a functional intake there on the hood. Probably adds at least 300 horsepower, I would say, to this thing. It's just about as quick as those fighter jets. When you're not able to be in the fighter jet, this gives good G-force practice simulation, driving around the track, shredding the gnar. It's a quick one. What color? 911, I'm sorry your car was stolen. What color is it? All of them. Actually, it should make it pretty easy for you to peg down. There are many cars out there where you can just say, oh, what color is it? All of them. So it stands out. I wouldn't be too worried about that thing getting stolen, actually. Well, I mean, they might get it into a chop shop pretty quickly, because I assume that's probably why it would have been stolen, is not so much so that someone can like try to drive that around. A little bit too attention grabbing, probably. Someone's running from the law, they're a fugitive, they're probably not looking at a parking lot of a bunch of like black and gray and white cars and being like, you know what, I'll take the one that has every color on it. Nah, probably gonna go for the slightly more understated one. Doesn't really, stand out when the police are looking for it, so you're probably pretty safe. They probably had some door dings. They probably had some panel dings all over the place, and every time they needed to get a panel replaced, they were just like, hey, can you, rather than worrying about like matching the paint, that takes effort. Why don't you just grab any random color? Just make it different than the rest of them. Makes repairing a lot easier. So this just got airdropped to me, and I can't stop laughing. I can't remember if we've seen this one specifically before, but we've seen Lightning McMeth before, and it might have been this one, might not have been this one. This might just be a thing that people like to do to their cars because it enhances their aesthetic appeal. And is also, you can tell when you're about to hit the car in front of you, because instead of doing body damage, you just poke it with your cigarettes. And really, it's the best of both worlds. My sister has seen the owner of this disaster and reports he uses a ladder to get in. The Donk Master Extraordinaire. Is that a Buick Grand National? Because those are actually pretty cool. And it's kind of sad to see a Grand National just get mounted on top of gigantic pylons like that. Also, that's got to be a little bit of a rollover risk. I don't know where the center of gravity is on that thing, but probably a little bit too high. And also, I mean, to get the power down to where it needs to be to drive the wheels, you must have such a massive amount of power loss. Whatever belts or chains that you're using to get it there, or whatever gear angles I don't know, man. I don't know how you get the power down to the wheels with that whole setup, but whatever the case, I'm sure it's way less efficient than having it how it was made at the factory. If you're driving a passenger home who has had way too much to drink that night, and they're not used to this vehicle, and they try to exit the car, they're like, all right, just gonna exit the car now, and then they just face plant 20 feet down onto the ground. It's a little bit of a hazard, but I will say, at least you never have to worry if you parallel park about scraping your door on the curb. So you got that going for you. I was blessed tonight, everyone. If I was just trying to think of some bizarre image to have painted on the back of my car, I don't even think I'd be able to think of this. What prompted you to tell an artist, or are you the artist yourself? If so, like, impressive work. But what prompts? I want to have scary Bigfoot with super sharp nails stroking a raccoon, which is conveniently concealing any sort of nudity that could be taking place in the image. This is my dream ever since I was a young boy and I heard about Bigfoot. I dreamed of a time when I could see one in extreme realism, stroking a raccoon. I love raccoons. They're very cute. And I just want to see Bigfoot with one. It would make all of my dreams come true. Please paint this on my truck so that everybody who drives behind me can also witness my dream. And hopefully it becomes theirs. And hopefully one day they will see Bigfoot and they will have a raccoon handy. And then Bigfoot and the raccoon will live happily ever after. The end. My retinas, they burn. Okay, so hold on. Are there actually things coming out of the exhaust, or were these added after the fact? I'm really... I think these were added in post-production. Whoever sent the image to the other person was like, let me add some Bitmoji unicorn farting, rainbow farting unicorn furries out of the exhaust pipes. It blends in well, looks great. God, that's a thing. Wow, is it also driving on a donut too? I can't tell if those are some just wild drag radials or something, but missing hubcaps and look like a spare tire? Or really don't know what's happening here. Yeah, I hope that as that thing drives away, it really does just leave a trail of rainbows. At Mario Kart, can you I know you guys have realistic looking kind of cars, and I know you even had Mercedes as a sponsor in your latest Mario Kart game. Can you guys make it so that if you do a flawless run and get first place on 200cc on Rainbow Road without ever getting hit, you get this? This is your victory prize? Thanks, appreciate it. Blender time. Apparently there's a third option between burial and cremation. Huh. Can somebody out there familiar with the funeral industry elaborate on why there would be a wood chipper attached to a hearse? Because, I feel that there's a rational explanation, but I can't come up with it right now. Other than, yeah, I'd prefer for my body not to be burned. I just actually want it to be, just make sure it's drained of fluid first, all right? But my request is that I want to become one with the wood when I die. This is my last request. All right, I mean, as a funeral home, we're supposed to do our best to execute the wishes of our clients. So, far be it from us to deny that. This is my best friend's boyfriend's car. Should she dump him? It has a rice sticker on the back. Oh, boy. It depends. Does he use it on track? Because if he does, then fair play to him. Because if you go to a racetrack, Miatas are a common thing. They're Miata class races that will take place and stuff. And those Miatas that are doing those races, they have some gnarly spoilers. So if he's using it in that kind of racing, then fair play. Fair play. You might as well go all in and add some purple accents as well. It'll stand out in the races, make it more appealing perhaps to sponsors, because the quickest way to become a millionaire from racing is to start off with hundreds of millions of dollars. So you got to get people's attention somehow, so they'll give you money. My county is a treasure trove of shitty car mods, and of course I honked. Big Wang Gang. Honk if you have crippling depression. At least he's open about compensating for something, right? I lack happiness on the inside, so I make up for it with a gigantic wing on the back of my car. So, dude, when I get the 600 LT, I want to line up 600 LT GT and GT3 RS in the garage and just caption the photo. Big Wang Gang. It's a dream of mine. That's pretty accurate. HDMI. Oh my god. Oh my god, it really is. How have I never noticed this before? Someone in the design process of that car had to look at the back as they had been examining it for hundreds of hours and be like, you know, this really does look like an HDMI port. Shouldn't we at least, like, I don't know, flip it upside down? Nah. Too much effort. That would cost another $10 million to have it flipped upside down. And then someone, I hope that whoever was in charge of engineering that piece, I hope they see this post and they'll be like, yeah, that was bound to happen. I'm glad somebody else noticed and embraced it. All right, that's it for the last month of Shorty Car Mods. Hopefully you've enjoyed. Make sure to like if you like. Check out the playlist in the description if you want to catch up on any of these other Shorty Car Mod videos. Subscribe if you're not already. And I have no shameless self-promo this week, so check out the music playing in the background over on Mirror Music. Link in the outro and description. See you next time.